I'm going on vacation. I've got my Hawaiian shirt on. Hello, everybody, it's Chloe. Over here. Hey. And this is Joel and Katie, and it's week 3, and it's our final report out for MCGS THEA 315. It is the 18th.
We think so.
We think it's the 18th. We've lost all track of days. And we're going to answer our questions. I'll be back with you in just a minute. I'm going to go get my luau on. Okay, bye.
Okay, so the first question that we've been asked is how we will approach SLOs in the course. And we've done quite a bit this week in terms of looking at SLOs that we already have existing that we put on the syllabus to go through CAB, that we've looked at in terms of knowledge, skills, and values. What we've done is we figured out a better way to kind of break that down, which is going to necessitate probably a little bit of a language shift in terms of making sure that it really fits and is really clean. And what we're ending up with is, I think, 2 that will test knowledge, 2 that will test skill, and 1 that will test value. Okay. And those are all going to be connected to some existing assignments and also some new assignments that we're going to be doing. So we're hopeful that these are broad enough and connected enough to content that they will also feed into GEs, SLOs, MCGS's SLOs, theater's SLOs, and the Pathways SLOs. So we're conscious that all of that has to come together, and we're in process of doing it.
Second question, how do you think you'll incorporate peer-to-peer learning? Sort of the basis of the class is discussion-based anyway, but that's not necessarily the kind of peer-to-peer learning that we think we're talking about. So we're considering, we used to have written critiques to productions, performances, but we sort of think group critiques that can be viewed, because at that point students don't know what the other people have said. We often discuss in class when they turn in their critiques what they thought, but that's maybe a 15-20 minute conversation. But some of the peer-to-peer learning could happen in those critiques with students watching each other, learning to think about how the other people are thinking about the production. It's always hard with us when we have students go see things because we always have to say, you may absolutely hate it. You may not like this play. You may not think it makes any sense. But here's the prompt. Try to keep in mind the question and try to keep the critique of the performance sort of separate. So there is learning that takes place, but it's going to be hard for us to try to figure out how to frame that so that it's more intentional for us.
The third question deals with assessment plans, and right now we have some interest in integrating clickers to be able to gain kind of temperature of the class as it progresses, which will let us know not only what they're learning, but also what we're doing with the redesign that might be useful or not useful. The other thing for assessment is Joel and I will be alternately teaching this class, so one of the things that we're looking to do is create a rubric for the group project, which we're reintroducing, that will be consistent between both of us, as well as a couple of sections in each exam, which will be consistent depending on that it will remain consistent no matter which of us is teaching the course, and then also leaves us some flexibility for whatever we introduce that's unique to us in terms of content each semester. So we're in process of developing all those pieces, which hopefully will make it a stronger course overall.
Yeah. And then the last one was questions about designing a learning space. I guess our reaction is going to be that as a reaction to the space that we have been in for the last 3 weeks, which is certainly different than traditional spaces. We have only been able to sort of see pictures of the room that Kim teaches in, so it's hard to guess. But a couple of the things for us that became difficult is, the larger the space is, and if we're teaching 100 kids, we'd certainly love to have a space where there could be those group and those pods where people could interact. But the larger the space, the more need there is for multiple screens on all four walls or three walls, or and we were talking about not only just on multiple walls, but multiple screens on multiple walls. Since we're spending so much time with technology, it would be easier to say, here's an A and here's a B, and all of you can see it on the three different walls. So, that would be helpful, at least for us, to sort of compare and contrast performances.
Also for us, in terms of thinking about space, it's lovely to be able to be in small group, but it does there are times where you need to do some things in traditional lecture, and a more flexible space where we were seated always away from, we always had our backs to the lecture, so if we wanted to type or take notes, we had to turn away from the lecturer, which is fine in a smaller classroom because they're kind of circulating, but in a larger classroom that might be hard. And I don't know what the ideal circumstance would be. And it might be those cool rolly chairs that Kim Jackson has, because that seems a bit more flexible. And I would also add the more open space and windows you can get where you get natural light, in the sense that you're not locked away, but that you do have a sense of environment, is really, really helpful, and that would be ideal in as many spaces as we could get.
Sure. Okay, so we have hit our time allotment, and so we are finished, and Chloe is going to say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Have a good summer. I'll see you at the luau at the dancing, and it's been fun meeting you. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.